Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews as well as Quirk Auto Dealers. Today we have a moment that I've been waiting for really a good amount of time now. This is the 2021 Chevrolet Suburban. Of course, brand new design for the Suburban for the 2021 model year. I have driven the Yukon XL, of course this car's platform mate, the more luxurious option for those who are so inclined to purchase it. But I've not looked at the Suburban yet. This is my first time sitting in one, first time driving one. Of course, you still have the opportunity for just the rear glass to open up if you have some plywood that for some reason doesn't fit in the length of this cab. You can just have it coming out the window here, or if you just want to put some groceries inside and don't want to open the full lift gate, you can do so like that. Still have your power lift gate, which currently has your floor mats that come with the vehicle. Biggest difference from Tahoe to Suburban is the amount of cargo space. It is gigantic. I mean, if you like run out of space, I think your next option is a U-Haul cargo truck. I mean, it is absolutely colossal. This is essentially as fully loaded as you can get. This is your high country trim, like 6.2 liter V8, absolutely loaded to loaded. 83,195. This is the High Country Premium package. And then the rear seat media system, which we'll get into in a little bit. With your High Country trim, you get some nice bronze accents throughout. Here's your sensor for the forward collision warning and stuff like that. It also uses cameras up top. This is functional to help with aerodynamics. Comes through here and out. Here is your rear seat media. Hi, me. I mean, just look at this thing. Let me go ahead, turn the actual power on. So I can go ahead and turn the rear media on. There we go. Absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at that. Super, super responsive. That's San Francisco Bay. Oh, maybe we can find the Golden Gate Bridge. Or even Alcatraz. Yeah, there we go. It's the Golden Gate Bridge. Angel Island. And then you can request. Oh, that is awesome. I didn't know you could do that. So it comes up in the front. So say, all right. Click on me. Where am I at? So we're here. Say we want to go to the airport. Like, hey, I want to go there. Pops up here, and you can accept or ignore that. I'm going to ignore it because I don't want the GPS on the whole time. So, if you're back here, someone's driving, you'd be like, you know what, I want to go here for dinner. You do that, comes up with an accept or ignore, and go from there. Go ahead, power these off. You also have your virtual rear view mirror. Nice panoramic sunroof. I mean, you also have as many cameras as you could ever desire. I think it's like a total of 16 or so. Maybe a little bit less, because I know it's 16 for the Silverado. Now, look at this. That's just... like, what? Your home button here. Also, with this new version, you have Sirius XM rewinding radio. That wasn't available with the previous Suburban. And it's definitely welcome, especially, you know, if I see a song pop up that I want to listen to while filming this video, or if you're talking to someone and it interrupts your listening, you can go ahead, pause it, or you can rewind it and it goes back to whatever song you wanted to listen to. Bunch of different drive modes too. You have Sport, Off-Road, and Tow Haul. That is changed down here. You also have your four-wheel drive modes, trailer braking, heads-up display, not sure if you can see it. Go ahead, change some of the info. You have your safety features, your compass, off-road pages, and then just speed limit and speed. I like to leave it on off-road pages just because it's kind of cool to watch. If any of you is curious to why visors do that, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and take it out on the road. As stated before, it is the 6.2 liter V8. Tahoe comes standard with the 6.3 liter V8. Oh, I'm sorry, 5.3 liter V8. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and that always throws me off. It's an option on the Premier trim to get the 6.2, and I do believe it is standard on the High Country trim because it goes Premier, High Country. High Country is the absolute loaded out version of the Tahoe and Suburban, as well as a bunch of other ones like your Silverado, your Traverse. A lot of the Chevy models use High Country as their, essentially like Denali. Some of the differences, I'll probably do a comparison video between, once we get more in stock, a Yukon XL Denali versus a Suburban High Country. A lot of the main differences come in trim. The trim is a little bit nicer in the GMC. Of course, the exterior appearance is a bit different. The stitching layout is a little bit different. It's just a little bit more focused on luxury. .2 is mated to the 10-speed GM automatic. Phenomenal transmission. Doesn't hunt around for gears too much, which is very, very good because there is 10 cogs to switch through. So if it's constantly playing with gears and stuff like that, it would just be an absolute pain. Instead, every shift is nice and smooth, even shifts that you wouldn't really expect it to do, like drop down gear shifts, stuff like that, full throttle shifts. You really can't feel them. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, obviously you can feel them if you're looking for it, but if, you were sleeping in the back seat, you'd have no idea that it was shifting. If you had headphones on, you couldn't hear it shift, you'd have absolutely no idea. Like, we're swapping gears right now, and it's still a fluid acceleration. It's not, jerking back and forth. It is absolutely amazing. I do believe this is the same 10-speed that Ford uses. I do believe Ford and GM worked together on this 10-speed, which actually is really, really surprising, seeing how the two companies are competitors. I never thought that they would sit there and partner up like that, but hey, you know what? They did, and it produced an absolutely amazing product. Also fitted is the magnetic ride control. Absolutely amazing. So in my route, I have some speed bumps, stuff like that, in order to get to my film location. So occasionally I'll test out what the suspension feels like. I'll take them somewhat quick, and instead of going nice and slow over them, I'll take some speed, kind of see how the body control is. Kind of get a feel for if the suspension's too soft for the application, stuff like that. In this scenario, it is absolutely amazing. It's constantly adjusting the shocks, how soft they are, and just constantly doing minute fixes based on road imperfections. If you are looking for it, you can actually feel it change. So when I take the speed bump, or some potholes and stuff like that, sunken down drainage grates, you'll feel the front tire hit it. And once it goes down, you can feel the suspension stiffen up a little bit and kind of control the movement so it doesn't produce like a bunch of rebound and stuff like that. And by the time that the front tire has dipped down and is about ready to hit the other side of that pothole, when it dips down, it's soft. When it hits, it's firm. And it really, by the time the rear tire hits it, the suspension's completely changed to the point where you can barely feel that pothole. It doesn't shake the truck. It is amazing. When you hit speed bumps, it firms up the suspension so it doesn't smack the front end on the ground. It doesn't just bounce everywhere. Magnetic ride, I never noticed the difference until I was starting to pay attention this time. Absolutely phenomenal. So I'm sitting here, and a lot of you are probably sitting here asking yourself the same thing. Is it worth the $83,000 price tag? Sure, you can get many more full-size SUVs, you know, the Kia Telluride, stuff like that. You can get a ton of those for under $50,000. So why is the Suburban so expensive? Well, it's all the reasons that I stated above. This is based on a truck platform. It is the most truck-like SUV on the market. It's the biggest, I do believe. It is absolutely one of the biggest. And now it's one of the nicest riding, best powertrain. It's just that good. So is it worth the $83,000? In my mind, absolutely. I would even pay the additional $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it is, to upgrade to the Yukon XL. I do know it's under $90,000, so it's less than $10,000 difference for a lot more luxury. But even if you can't stretch towards a little under $90,000, the Suburban is absolutely amazing. On that note, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. Nice Mark 6 Golf R. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.